Morning everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I'm in Leeds this morning. I'm in City Square. Queen's Hotel there, the railway station behind it. I think that was the old Yorkshire Bank. Park Plaza Hotel that I once stayed in. Got the noisiest lifts in any hotel I've ever stayed in. Mill Hill Chapel. Not sure what that building is with the guys cleaning the windows. Number one City Square in front of us, and here is what was the old post office building. Beautiful building. I remember when it was a post office, it was so grand, wood and polished floors, and a Black Prince statue. I'm here today to finish off the video that I made about squares, sort of Edwardian and Georgian, Victorian and Georgian squares in Leeds. So this is part 2 of it, and I'm hoping to head over to see a couple more of those squares in a little while. A couple of old cinemas before we leave here though. Majestic Cinema there, that's now got the northern headquarters of Channel 4 based in it. And this cinema, I can't remember the name of it. I think it maybe was a bit of an adult cinema in its day. It was just there. I don't think it's been anything since it closed as a cinema. Anyhow, I'm here to see Park Square and Woodhouse Square and Hanover Square. They're proper squares. City Square's never even been a square, it's been all kinds of things. And it's kind of semi-pedestrianised now. But yeah, I thought I've talked about it in my walking video. All the measurements from Leeds are measured from here. So I thought we'd start here. Majestic Cinema. I don't remember it as a cinema. 2,800 seats. Grand organ, the Majestic Symphony Orchestra, and dinner dances in its sumptuous restaurant. I remember it as a bingo hall though, before it did it catch fire, and then it was derelict for a long time. I'm coming this way because these walks around Leeds, they're to show what Leeds is like now, but they're also to try and see some history of the place. And this Quebec's, it was a hotel. It is a hotel. You can tell it's early and I haven't had any coffee. It is a hotel, but it was the Leeds and County Liberal Club. I'm guessing in the days when the Liberals were quite a party. We even had a Prime Minister, I think. There you go. So we'll head over to Park Square, the first of the squares that I wanted to show you. I decided to start at the railway station because I needed a toilet. So, but it's this end of town that I want to be. This building here that looks like something out of 1960s Russia. It was for a long time the Bank of England. I hope it's not still the Bank of England. Because if it is, I shouldn't really be taking a video of it, I guess. It's probably flats now. Everything in Leeds is flats. If it's not a restaurant. Then it's going to be flats. This is probably, I don't know what you'd call it, it's the administrative, the financial district of Leeds. I'm probably going to make a video where I walk from City Square along Wellington Street, maybe even up Kirkstall Road a little way, so I'll probably spend a bit more time in this area then, but only a 5-minute walk from the railway station is without doubt one of the, if not the grandest square in Leeds. Park Square. It's lovely. St. Paul's House. A warehouse and cloth cutting works built for John Barron. They were famous tailors in Leeds. Once round then and through the park. Would have been an incredible area, fine living, with a park in the middle. Now it's solicitors' offices and a car park. The new Magistrates Court building ahead of us at the other side of the hedgerow. They used to be in the town hall, as did the Crown Courts. So the Magistrates Court is on the left, the Crown Courts are on the right. I just wanted to show you number 33. Home of Sir Berkeley Moynihan. Introduced the wearing of rubber gloves. President of the Royal College of Surgeons. some beautiful doorways. I suppose the fact that it's solicitors' offices has saved it from coffee bars and the like. And from apartments, I guess. The private clinic of Harley Street. Get my bunions done. Park Square. This elegant square formed part of the Wilson family's plan to create a high-class residential estate on the site of the medieval park of the Manor of Leeds. Its residents were merchants, clergy, lawyers and surgeons, built between 1788 and 1810. And when it was built, there wasn't a road at the end. Victoria Square fronted the town hall, so it would have been quite an impressive place to be. Some lovely tiled doorways on here. This one, I think, is one of them. The chambers. Yorkshire's first woman doctor. Had her consulting rooms here from 1877 to 1883. Inspirational women. They make the world go round. And I wasn't being facetious. Some colours and window boxes. There you go then, guys. Now this was an interesting building as well. It used to be the area office of Yorkshire Water or British Waterways. It's not now, it's apartments, but that's what the sign above the door was all about, I think. This was empty for a long, long time. Got a ginkgo biloba tree here. It's not come out yet, although it is in bud. The tree was planted by the mayor of Hiroshima and the mayor of Nagasaki in 2003 to commemorate the 23 million, I think that might have gone up a bit, people killed in conflicts since 1945. Interested? That's the ginkgo biloba with its winter coat on. onwards. So yeah, it's a fabulous square. Oh, here we go, there's a sign for them. Woodhouse Square, Hanover Square, Park Square, Queen Square, which we will have all done by the end of today, Millennium Square and Marion Street Gardens, which we will do in future videos. There you go, folks. And just before we go, I love a set of bylaws. The Leeds City Council bylaws of Park Square. But it's completely boarded up. It must be undergoing some renovation work. But I'll tell you the story anyway. This area we're standing in now, I think this was once known as Victoria Square. One of my correspondents told me. And the hedgerow as is, which again has gone through many different guises. The hedgerow wasn't here. And it was a massive square with statues and a big statue of Queen Victoria. And Queen Victoria actually came to open the town hall. And she stayed in Leeds at the home of the then Lord Mayor. So as well as taking in a couple of the squares, there you go. We'll go up to see the house where the Queen stayed. So this used to have the law courts in it, and also the police in Bridewell for Leeds, which used to be just where those metal railings are. There's actually a cell, an even older cell under the steps, where I think the last person who was hanged at Armley Prison stayed the night before they were hanged. But it's a fabulous building, and you can have tours around it, and there's organ recitals when everything's working. So it's a nice building. But this entire sort of quarter is quite pleasant. The public library, the art gallery. Spend a lot of time in there as a boy. As the reference library and the public library. We used to go to the international swimming pool in Leeds, and then we'd call in the library on the way back. The school board for Leeds. Millennium Square there, but I don't want to get too distracted from today's from the purpose of today's video. It's unfortunate that there's so much work going on, because one of the things I wanted to show you was this pub that I didn't even know had closed. It's the Victoria. Not sure what's happening to it. Maybe it must be going to be apartments or something. Just the back entrance to the town hall. Great old pub there, the George. And then just behind me here, I seem to have come on a day when there's a strike or something. It's chaos down here. There's the old part of Leeds General Infirmary, which must be a listed building, I guess. But that's where we've come from, the town hall, and the George, and the modern court building just down there on the right. And then this church here, this is St George's Church, but it's quite well known in Leeds. It's got St George's Crypt, which is a place for the homeless. And in a ring road. St George's Church. Oh, we're sort of heading out of the city now. It's unrecognisable, that part of Leeds. I'm trying to work out where the swimming baths was for you, the old police headquarters, Brother and House, and it's hard to tell where they even were. I will have to take a walk down Wellington Street. I think it used to be the maternity hospital in Leeds here a long time ago. I've come this way because it brings us straight into the third of our proper squares, Woodhouse Square. And you'd have to imagine it before that dreadful road cut the city in half. Here we are. Similar to the other ones that we've seen. Except for some reason it only seems to be three-sided. Maybe they demolished some of it. There used to be a blue plaque to another inspirational woman. On here. It is Ellen Heaton. She lived at number 6. Have my Beatles moment. Blossom trees in the park. What used to be Park Lane College down there, it's now part of Leeds City College, I think. Oh, I see. Somebody in the wisdom has demolished some of these fine old houses and built Sycamore House. Wow, that's impressive. Welcome to Woodhouse Square, same one that was in Park Square. It's nice though. But I say on that side as well, it looks like some of it has been demolished. Let me know if I'm wrong. Was there always gaps? I doubt it, but I think there's probably more of an imperative now to save the old buildings in cities than there ever was, because the days of architectural wonders being put up in cities seem to be long gone. And I know I keep going on about it, but it is all just, I call them plastic apartments, plastic buildings. They use all this cladding, don't they? And, they seem to have not 1 ounce of style. A bit like me. This is Clarendon Road here. It's some lovely houses up there. It's mostly student accommodation now. But the reason, apart from the squares, the reason we're doing today's walk was to tell you about the day that the Queen stayed in the Lord Mayor of Leeds house. And this is he, Peter Fairbairn, they called him. He was an industrialist in the city. He was a businessman, I think, in the city. What's there? Peter Fairbairn, Mayor of Leeds, 1857 to 1858. This statue was erected, I think, by subscription of the town's people of Leeds. Not my relatives, I don't think. That one took them certainly a week or whatever they were on. Anyhow, it was a grand part of Leeds, and his house is at the top of this road. And the reason I'm telling the story is it kind of blows my mind a little bit that Queen Victoria, Queen of not being whatever the politics are of it, Queen of Britain and all its empire, she stayed in a house in Leeds, which I think is incredible, given the cult-like status we give our heads of state now. You just can't imagine them living, even for one night, kind of street I grew up in. I'm trying to find Hanover Square, which might be up here. Bear with me. Should have had a look on the map, really. I've only ever been to Hanover Square once. Been walking with some friends and we stopped here to drop someone off. There we go. Hanover Square. Oh yeah. And this is all as new to me as it is to you. Denison Hall, the grandest house ever built in central Leeds, built in 101 days for John Wilkinson upon inheriting fortune of his uncle. Nothing changes, does it? Its parkland setting reflected his desire for the country gentleman's lifestyle, for which he soon abandoned. Built in Leeds, built in 1786. Oh, I see. And so then the square was built around it. No idea what it is now. There's a fairly grand building there. Oh, and the back of Park Lane College, as was down there. Oh, this is cool. I won't go pointing my camera at that blue plaque, so it looks like it's underneath somebody's bedroom window. Charles Barker Howdill, the prominent Leeds architect of primitive Methodist chapels, travel photographer who ventured to the Balkans and renowned slideshow lecturer, lived here. In 1901 he exhibited some of the colour images seen at the Royal Photographic Society. Oh, I think number 14. Can you see that? Without seeing in the person's bedroom window. I say, I think like a lot of this area now, this is got to be mostly student accommodation. It's amazing, really, if you see the value of the properties in Park Square. So what I'm trying to say really, if it was a mile or so further towards the city centre, it would be very different. And I'm sure if it was, do they call it gentrification in London? That's one thing that I've never really got, that why that sort of gentrification hasn't occurred in Leeds, because these would be fantastic houses to live in, within walking distance of the city. They'd be worth like £1 million of anybody's money, but I don't think they are. I think they're just subdivided into as many rooms as they possibly can get. And it would have been quite some view. The valley there, but obviously there's nothing. But obviously you can't see it now with all the new buildings. Maybe if the university hadn't have been here, there would have been more gentrification. But I suppose now the property developers have got them, they'll be making a mint forevermore, rather than just selling it once for £1 million. Anyway, onwards. Just try and find the gaff where Queen Vic used to did live for a short time while she was in Leeds. So if this Denison Hall was built in 1788 and Park Square around about the same time, and I'm sure bits of Clarendon Road and the Woodhouse Cemetery that I showed you in an earlier video, this was still a sort of a semi-rural area back then. But then, of course, in the 1800s came all of this, and the rich they just upped and moved further out, didn't they? But I think I've said it in an earlier video, there's tens of thousands of terraced houses like this in Leeds. So I think, we're back on Clarendon Road. So that concludes the squares, Park Square, Woodhouse Square and Hanover Square. These were the sort of views these people had at churches over at Armley. But a bit of a clue here that we're nearing our end of our journey today. Anyhow, there you go. I'll make no more comments about our royal family, if I've made any at all, or heads of state, but I just don't see them stopping in a place like this. Originally known as Woodhouse House, this monumental villa was built in 1840 for Sir Peter Fairbairn, the textile engineering magnate and Mayor of Leeds. Queen Victoria stayed here in 1858 when she came to open the town hall, and I think it was still a sort of rural area, and I think then the sort of back-to-back red brick houses started to be built maybe the 1880s, 90s, and I think that's when, maybe, I don't know, that's when it was swallowed up into the city. Got some lovely houses up here. Anyhow, there you go folks, Fairbairn House, where Queen Victoria stayed. It's a grand building. Even a bit of the old cobble road left here. As I said, the view's 75A. I don't think that's there anymore, is it? I was going to end the video here, but I'm guessing for completeness we should go all the way to the statue of Queen Victoria that was originally outside the town hall. The old grammar school here. And the Duke of Wellington here with breasts and a moustache. Nice. And red boots and a cone on his head. So we're in Woodhouse Park, but it just seemed an appropriate place to end today's video. The last video in this little series ended at Queen Square. I'm guessing when she arrived by train, she would have arrived at City Square, gone by coach up to Woodhouse. Then by coach down to the opening ceremony. There we go, folks. In 1937, Victoria Square was remodelled. A terrace was built, approached by steps from the road, then Park Lane, and the curved steps in front of the town hall replaced by straight ones to allow a carriageway and car park to be built in front of the hall. So there were very short-sighted city officials even back then. What a place Victoria Square would have been if it was entirely a public square. Anyhow, there you go. Queen Victoria, 1837 to 1901. Raised by voluntary subscriptions of the citizens of Leeds in the year 1901.